looks like you. Is that like the come on, hurry up hand signals, or is that like clapping because you're excited? Morning, DB. Good morning, Patricia. No sound. You have no sound. Yes, yeah. I don't know.
Me.
No, you got sound now.
I do. Can
Yeah.
you hear me?
Yep. It was me, I think. Oh, it's always me. So you can redo your good mornings.
Good morning.
Always some technical difficulty. We didn't do a sound check. We didn't say.
No,
We gotta say the words. Sound check. That's just
I
how it
still
works.
can't hear you. Can you guys hear Jeff? It's just really quiet for me. I'm having a hard time.
Is
For
this
some
better?
time.
Wow, we're really starting this show off with a bang.
Oh, yeah. I can hear you now.
Yeah. You know that other fancy mic that I have that's off to the side of my desk?
Yeah.
I needed to pull it over.
Oh,
I
I
was
see.
I was talking to you through my headset mic.
It was far up. Up far. What did I say this morning?
Far up. Oh
Far
my
up.
gosh. So, good morning, everyone.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Darcy.
Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning, Craig, Patricia, DB.
Yes, good morning, everybody.
We can just cut out that early part. And just
Yep.
it's like take two.
We won't.
Well, yeah, because that requires editing. We've been meaning to get up our shorter videos for months now. Yeah, weeks.
So this one is 1 minute shorter.
Yeah, we'll have to put in the comments. Just skip to the first minute, 10-second timestamp.
Yep. That feels like the opposite of lazy and lazy at the same time. We're gonna find out. Anyway, I'll stop. I haven't had coffee today, folks, so
Yeah, you and your fasting. Does that include coffee?
it's going to just because I've been drinking a lot.
Yeah.
Like a whole pot to myself. So
I just
so
noticed I
it's not
got
gonna be a
paint.
good weekend.
It's not going to be a good weekend.
No.
Yeah. Do you get stressed out, tense? Like, how do you change, or just not feel
Uh
good? Is that what you're talking about?
well, I'm sure I'll get the headache and
The
hopefully not
headache.
today, maybe tomorrow. And I don't know, honestly, I've been real tired lately anyway. I think because I'm drinking too much coffee, so I'm expecting that to probably be the same. But but we'll see. I may I may have tea instead because I love tea and then um yeah, mix it up a little bit. Have a little bit of caffeine, but not a whole pot.
Oh, I feel, I feel for you. It's gonna
Yeah.
be long days.
Yeah, well, maybe it'll make my weekend feel longer. And I'll be like, oh, I can't wait to go back to work.
So I can have some coffee.
Yeah, so I can be a real person again. I'm so bored and tired and cranky. I don't know. Like, let's get more people in on this.
Yeah, it is an interesting. It's interesting when there are the discussions about drugs and stuff, and coffee is, more or less an addictive drug,
Hmm.
and there are withdrawal symptoms. So I always laugh when people stop the coffees, the caffeines. It's like, why? You're just gonna come back to us eventually.
Yep.
You'll be
I love
back.
coffee too much.
I know.
I have I have stopped drinking it before, and I have cut way down before, but it's been getting a little out of control lately.
That's
So,
why coffee and sugar are really bad.
yeah. I drink my coffee black. So I don't need to worry about all that extra stuff in it.
Yeah, I mean, mine's black. Black. I had to warn my dad the other day when he was over. He was like, "Can I have some coffee?" I'm like, "It's strong." He's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "You can feel your hair grow." He's like, "Oh, I need some of that." But
Yeah,
it's
Rick teases me that I make mine light, but I blame my coffee pot.
yeah, I think it's mine. I put enough grounds in there, and I guess it's mine's just generic, right? It's been generic for a while. I use the Starbucks espresso blend
Mm,
because it's easy to find, and I've just gotten lazy about looking for good coffee.
yeah.
And but I put enough in there. I used to put in more, but it would overflow out of the filter.
Yep. That's the
And so
worst.
now it's just barely below the line. I'd say like a quarter, maybe 3/8 of an inch below the top of the filter. that it,
Wait, what? You put that much grounds in?
Not the grounds themselves. Once the water
Oh,
fills in, it fills it up as it filters
oh,
through. You
I
know what I
gotcha.
mean?
Yeah,
If you have too many grounds, they actually overflow out of the
yeah. That's what
filter.
mine does. That's why I have to do mine a
And you
little
don't really
bit.
got to put that much in. We're not talking like a half a filter. Once you start getting to like a quarter filter full, it actually
Mhm.
kind of overflows. And I just have
Yep.
like a cheap coffee pot. I don't know,
Yep. Coffee
15
mate?
bucks. Yeah, something, whatever Walmart sells. Because
Yeah.
they just get
I
yucky. I like replacing them.
yeah.
I mean,
I
I clean it with vinegar, but it still gets yucky because it's running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's got a life. It's got a hard life.
Well, I just noticed because usually I get rid of mine when the burner stops working, which is always a fun day. Um, but Rick was saying because I do what you do is just like I just keep refilling my cup, so only the first cup is ever hot. Everything after that is like, you know, warm. And Rick's been has to heat up his coffee because he starts drinking it later than me. Like it's already been sitting there for like an hour on the burner, and he says that it's not hot. So I think the burner's going on my coffee pot, so I might have to replace soon. But I don't get the espresso coffee. I do get Dunkin' Donuts though, and it is delicious. But yeah, the espresso will get you a little bit um, stronger.
Yeah, it just it feels good. I like coffee.
Drinking a lot of coffee,
Yeah, well,
feeling your
I
hair grow.
also I do pair it with water. So I have my water bottle like right in front of me right now. It's a coffee cup that I just refilled while you were telling your story, and I get to cheat. And so
Man, rude.
I know, but I can still hear you, and I could have responded kinda if it was using the other mic. I would have to yell. But then I have a water bottle right next to it, and like on the other side of my monitor. So on each side of my monitor, I have coffee and then a water. And I pretty much go back and forth, like one sip of coffee, one sip of water, or a few
Hydrate,
sips of water.
dehydrate, hydrate, dehydrate.
Hmm. And
The
so in the end, that
fallacy.
equals just hydrate
Yep.
or
It
equal.
means one person with, I need to get a new uh water bottle. I've been using the same one for years and feel like it doesn't get clean enough anymore.
What
And
do
it
you think
makes
the
me really
best
sad.
material for a water bottle is? I think about this a lot. Plastics are not good for us. So
No.
anything that we keep
And they do
plastics
have
in is bad.
and they do have the BPA free now, but you still
They just
can't throw them
say
through the
that.
dishwasher.
Just a
Right.
label.
Yeah, that's true. Um, I think, well, and even glass, I mean, once it scratches, then that's a good place for bacteria and metal. I don't know. I don't know
Yeah,
what to
I
do.
know. That's it. I was like metal. Like, do you get stainless steel, and then you're getting all those metals in you? I mean, I know it's overthinking it, but sometimes I think of future us, that will look back and be like, oh my gosh, those people were barbaric, because we didn't know what we were consuming at the time.
Yeah.
There's always those conflicting stories and studies that come out that say basically everything's bad for us, and that very well
Yeah.
could be the case. But how do we know, like, which of the three are the best to store it in? Because that's it,
I
right?
don't
I
know.
guess you could go paper, but that's kind of
Well, that's then you're
it
not.
won't last
It's
very
not
long.
reasonable.
Yeah, it's
I
not
think
sustainable.
I'm leaning towards getting a glass one because then I could throw it through the dishwasher. I like the idea of sanitizing with the high heat.
Oh, we forgot one. Ceramic, I guess,
Oh yeah.
like pottery. And I always worry about that one too because I feel like they probably didn't adhere to like my coffee mug. I look at it and I'm like, how do I know this was like? Are people focusing on the quality and safety of all those coffee mugs? When you're looking for souvenirs, that's one souvenir you always see. Also, shot glasses, coffee mugs, and magnets. Right? Those are the three.
Yep.
That's the staple of
Key.
souvenirs. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
magnets. I forgot about the magnets and keychains for a year.
Yep.
I was here,
You
and
know,
then
when I went on my cruise and went all over, I got patches everywhere that I went. And
patches.
then, yeah, but then it was like, well, it's the same problem with anything else. It's like, what do you do with it? A bunch of patches and a lot.
It is. Yeah, I was just thinking about that because that is interesting. That whole tourism industry is built upon that.
Yeah.
And what would you be doing? Would you be enjoying more of the area if you weren't shopping?
Um, well, it was a cruise. I mean,
Well,
you don't really have time to
you're in the
enjoy
town to
anything.
shop. That's the point of the cruise. It's bringing buyers to the tourist
Yeah.
place. I don't know, but that is. I was just thinking about that because I mean I like doing the shopping. I mean I like going through the stores, the little tourist stores, and looking at things and seeing things. But it's really to your point. You get all the stuff, and then now maybe if it's more of a unique trinket, that would be maybe more of something to look at. But it is kind of funny. We spend the
Yeah.
time shopping versus looking at whatever destination we're
Enjoying
at,
the
enjoying the destination.
culture.
But
Yep.
like I said, I like the shopping part. I like going looking at the art places. I like looking at stuff that I can't buy.
Yeah. Yep. I haven't traveled in a while, but I do enjoy those things.
My thing then is I usually get a t-shirt or some sort of clothing with that's like a lot of times like when I was going to Hawaii I'd get water shirts. They had like Quicksilver and Billabong water shirts
Fun.
that had Hawaii logos, so you can't get it really anywhere else. But you can get literally the same shirt just without the logo on it.
Right. They're like, no, this one's Hawaii.
Yep.
Nice. That's fun.
And I'm trying to think what else would I collect. I mean, we've gotten some cool things. Link got a light up jellyfish. One of those jellyfishes encased in a some glass. I got a stabby stab knife.
Uh-oh. Oh yeah. When you were at where was that? Brussels?
That was
No,
Antwerp
Antwerp. That was close.
in Belgium. That was fun. But yeah, I had to have that
Um,
one shipped. I didn't take that on the plane.
yeah. You'd still be there. I'd be
Probably.
like, worst
Probably.
prisons in the world, and it will
Yeah,
be.
I think Belgium is one of the not so great prisons, and it's international because they're what is their thing? The Brussels airport is like the main hub. Like everybody has to fly through there or something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like once you get into that part of Europe, everybody has to go through kind of that area, or because it's so big, it can handle all kinds of stuff. I forget what it is. It's the most internationally traveled destination, maybe.
Hmm. Weird.
I'm just making up facts.
You're like 99% of the world flies through that. Yep.
Instead,
No.
no, that's like Atlanta in the United States, right? Everybody
Oh
goes through
man. Yeah.
Atlanta or Charlotte, or I don't think O'Hare's much of it. We have to top to it, but I don't know if other people have to travel through O'Hare in Chicago. And then
I've never had to. But
Minnesota. What about Minnesota?
mm-mm.
Where's
No,
your
because
most travel
usually,
through?
um, because normally I fly from it'd be like Florida to Washington
Mm-hmm. That's
type
why,
area.
yeah, you're gonna
So
cover all those
usually,
spots.
Dallas
Mm.
or um,
Okay.
uh, Calif. Is it California? I feel like California was like also a stop sometimes, but more often than not, it was if it's not a direct flight, it's usually Dallas. But then when I was going to Oklahoma, it was Atlanta. Um, was the was always the layover spot. When we were supposed to fly up to Connecticut a couple years ago. Well, I mean we did. We had to change our flights, but um, we were doing a direct flight on JetBlue, and our flight got changed to have a layover in Puerto Rico.
All
It
right.
changed from like a 2-hour flight to like a 24-hour flight, and we're like, that's stupid. We're not taking this flight with a layover in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, and
So
JetBlue's
we're
expensive anyways, so it's like
yeah.
I
It's
didn't
like
fly on you fancy airline to
yeah.
be having to go to Puerto Rico. And you're not
They're
even
starting to
giving me
do
like
that.
a free 2 day night stay there. Like if they were
Yeah.
like, hey, in your trip, we're gonna lay over here for a couple days. You get a couple nights hotel room on the beach, then you might be all right. But, huh?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that one. That one's crazy. I
It
mean,
was silly.
and
We were
I
like,
would be so mad because I specifically almost always buy direct flights, like because
yeah.
they're if you do it early enough, they're almost the same price most of the time, and it just saves so much possibility of things going wrong and hassle. And for them to redirect like that, I would have been hot. I mean, I would have wanted a refund and credits on
Yeah.
top of it.
Yeah,
Like,
we ended up I mean, we found out about it early enough that we just changed our flights. We
oh,
just found
you
a
didn't do
different
it.
one.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we were like, that's silly. Like, why is that even an option?
Oh man, I
Um,
would have been so mad.
so yeah, no, we did absolutely did not do that. We're like, hey, good luck for anybody that is doing that. That's not gonna be us. See, my eyes are being wonky.
So are mine.
It's making me feel like
Oh well,
dizzy.
years. I've been looking at mine while we've been talking, and I tried to adjust my glasses. I tried to get them to work right.
Mm. Yeah, no, I like have one eye that doesn't want to stay open. Oh man, it's like when we first brought this guy out. Well, that was fun. Now what?
I don't know.
Oh,
Ooh,
whoa. You're sharing that with everybody.
I know. They can see the back room how it's working. I have a problem. That would be really cool. Is if the background instead of the green screen would switch to like a lab or a studio or something, and there's like people walking around in the background.
Yeah.
That would have been pretty cool. like
There's the
like
ones
freaking
doing all the
out, freaking out.
animatronics.
Yeah. Oh, that's even better. Like it being puppet rigged. That would be cool.
Mhm.
No, my stupid browser. I mean, we don't need the browser that bad, so I can just switch to the slides. But the browser's not getting picked up,
Huh.
and It's really irritating. Maybe if I open a new browser. Let's try a new browser. Did that one get picked up? Oh. So you open a new browser and it decides to pick up the original one. Hmm.
It's
We
like
need
you
a
need to have
production crew.
two.
Yeah, you need to have two. All right. I was just trying to throw it up, but it's kind of meaningless now because I'm just going to go into the slides. Got a wonderful show.
We've got a show.
Maybe. Did you prepare?
For the show?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I had lots of water. I'm ready.
That's the opposite of preparing.
I got 2 pictures. Uh,
Have you ever? Do you? What Christmas symbols can you think of?
Christmas tree, candy cane, a wreath. Wreaths are cool. Why are they so expensive?
Why? How much do they cost?
I don't know. I just always feel like they're expensive. Um, what do you think of when you think of Christmas
They are
symbols?
expensive. Just Googled wreaths. I think of gingerbread houses.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think of sleighs.
Mm-hmm.
Always snow.
Oh, yeah. That's a
I
good
always
one.
grew up in a snow Christmas area, so my brain does not calculate non-snow Christmas.
I don't recall having a snowy Christmas. I'm sure it's happened, but not maybe
Let's
one or
see.
two.
The star on the top of the tree.
Hmm. The Santa Claus on top of the tree.
Or Santa.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on whatever your tree topper ornament is. I've seen some pretty creative, cool ones. Um, there's yeah, I'd say that's about it of the commercial type things.
Mm-hmm. DB says a star. Is that like the topper or just stars in general? Because I feel like those are. Well, no, I feel like stars are. Um, you've got ornaments and um, just other Christmassy type things that nativity scenes have the stars and stuff. I think.
Tinsel.
Yep. Oh, yeah. I would never have tinsel in my own house. Definitely. What a mess, huh?
No, it's not bad. Nope, not at
No,
all.
it's not.
Nope, no, I
Oh,
don't. Maybe if you had young children.
I was a young child.
And if
We were
you
horrible.
had, maybe if you have pets that can't leave it alone.
Yeah.
Those two, I mean, it doesn't
We'd
really
end up
go
with a lot of
anywhere.
tinsel in
Once you
the
put it on
yard.
the tree, it's kind of just there. So,
Yeah. No, that makes sense. When I was a kid, I just remember it everywhere all the time. And my mom always being upset that the tinsel was everywhere all the time. But we grew up with cats and dogs and stuff. So,
so yeah, if you have things climbing through the trees,
yep. My poor mom.
well,
I need to
that's
call her. Oh, that's pretty.
so the most famous of all is the Christmas tree. So where did the
Mm,
Christmas tree come from? Why do people have Christmas trees?
I don't know.
Evergreens have been used in winter festivals for centuries by both pagans and Christians, with Christians believing the trees represent the birth and resurrection of Jesus and their everlasting life with God. That belief is further carried out by a tree's triangular shape, symbolizing the Holy Trinity. Oh, the Illuminati are in our house every Christmas. Wow. Didn't even think of that.
No.
And Christmas trees pointed upward towards heaven as a representation of our relationship with God. Well, I would say I have the tree in my house because it looks pretty and it's fun to
Yep.
decorate. I like decorating.
We have 2 trees and they're outside. 2 Christmas trees and they're outside. We have 3 trees and we didn't put one up this year. Oh, that's pretty. That's nice.
Yeah. Can I move this over here without affecting anything? I have to move it away. So make sure my things are changing. You have 3 trees?
Yeah.
Like live
Well,
trees or fake trees?
no, fake trees. And one's the one that we've had forever. And then we bought 2 because we like to go. We did a couple years where instead of getting each other Christmas presents, we went shopping the day after Christmas and got all the sales. And we were able to get a couple trees one year. So one's got our old tree is outside, and then by our front door we have another one that's got like this fake snow on it, and so to keep the mess down, we put that outside too. The dogs, they'll be messy, but it looks nice.
Yeah. Your house always looks nice.
Thanks.
Mine, I have a lawnmower sitting out front right now as my decoration. Because
That's
when
awesome.
I cleaned
For
out my
Santa.
garage, it's a lawnmower that doesn't work, but
Oh,
it's just kind of funny.
that is amazing.
It's out front. No, the kid was supposed to decorate. I left it up to him. Guess what? My house is undecorated. Oh, I will do the inside like I always do, but he's in charge
The
outside.
it's like
Well,
lawnmower
he likes
house.
doing it. Huh?
The lawnmower house.
It is. It is. With a big pile of dirt in the front, which was is a crawler track, but it's just kind of funny. So,
That's awesome.
all right. Next up, we got our star.
Mhm.
Number 2. Yep, we named that one off. One of the holiday's more religious symbols, the star represents the bright star that shone brightly over the town of Bethlehem on the night that Jesus was born. That one's pretty straightforward.
Yes.
Christmas star has also come to represent hope and peace. So, if you don't want to put the religious tone to it, just have it represent hope and peace. I think that is really good too.
Yeah. It is. It does feel peaceful. It's nice.
And next we have our candles. I was never part of the candle group, but I know and see a lot of houses that are part of the candle group. So they light candles, put them in the windows if you're not familiar. And a candle during Christmas time also traditionally represents the Star of Bethlehem, which guided the 3 kings. Before electricity or Christmas lights, families would decorate the branches of their Christmas trees with candles. Such a bad idea. Such a bad idea. Unless it's outside and not near other trees. Then I'd be all right with it.
Or your house.
Or your house, yes. But like that, like I would have been like, no, mom, no, dad, don't. They didn't have smoke detectors even. I mean, like everything's gone. Like, oh, Christmas came and got them. They must not have been good this year. That was Santa Claus coming and getting them.
Yeah.
Horrible ideas. Old past us. So, and the candles are more significant as part of the Jewish and African holiday. So the Jewish holiday Hanukkah and African holiday Kwanzaa. I can't say it because hold on. Kwanzaa. I can't say the word. It's right in my head. I can't get the W. The KW. Kwanzaa. There it goes.
Yep. Good job.
I had to slow down my mouth to like go with my brain. It was just funny.
Yeah.
Too much coffee. Yeah, Kwanzaa. And so they're more candle driven.
I like the candles. I think they're really pretty. But I definitely do we do the battery ones. I mean, we have other scented candles and stuff, but
You guys you do Christmas lights, right?
yeah,
I thought
we just have some up this year. We usually do like a whole thing in the house, but
Do you do, Which way do you go? Colored or white? Which team are you?
Colored.
You're part of team colored.
Yeah, I we do like the white ones and the blue ones,
Ooh,
but
team
um
blue. I forget about them.
yeah. So, but we have what we had for the longest time is our tree was the different colored ones. And so we had red and white lights that we decorated most, around the house with. So that was nice. Or we would do like the white with it to kind of break it up a little bit. And then our tree had all the different colors and then it was nice.
That sounds
But
nice.
yeah, last year we didn't get to dress up or decorate, and this year we've done very little, which is unfortunate. We wanted to do more, and it just this year it's just getting away from us.
I
But
know that timer. That timer.
yeah,
Timer's just going 12:09.
I know it's yeah,
And then
and
it's kind
we
of pointless after the 24th. So
well, part of our
15
problem is we've
days.
just got too much stuff now. Like when we just had a few things, it was like, oh, we'll just take out the boxes and put it up, and now we have like every year we just kept getting more and more stuff. And now it's like it's really uh not dreadful, like, it's just like it just it's kind of scary. I bet we have like 15 boxes of
Oh
stuff, and
wow.
it's like, well, yeah, where are we gonna put it? What are we gonna do? Like, where do we do with our old stuff? Where do we do with the new stuff? Like, oh yeah, we live in this house that has scorpions and spiders, so like, how much of that are we bringing it? So it's been overwhelming is the word that I was looking for earlier. It's been very
It's interesting.
overwhelming to do it this year. So Rick
Yeah.
got a few things out, and it looks nice, and I think next year it will be a little bit easier, you
It's
know.
just funny. I'm picturing this, stacking of, 15 boxes. We'll just
Hmm.
totes or something for a picture. Right? You got these 15 totes sitting there, but you run in, you grab one real quick because the scorpions and the spiders are attacking, like guarding. You're trying to get the treasures away from them. And like we got three this year, that's all we could get. And then they're back in the background plotting how to get their boxes back. They're
Yeah,
like, we're gonna have to send out a rescue mission to go get our stuff back. And so, yeah,
it's exactly like that. Well, a lot of the
maybe
stuff
if we
we
just
don't even
kill the
know what we have
humans.
because the Christmas before we moved, so 3 Christmases ago, we went shopping the day after Christmas, and we
Mm,
didn't, we, when we bought stuff, we never put it up. So then it was like our Christmas present for the next year was all the things we bought the year before and totally forgot we had. It's actually a lot of fun. Um, but we have things that we don't know that we have because it's
yeah.
been 2 years now. And yeah, again, very overwhelming. We found some really cool things that we had and they're up, but yeah.
It's funny. That's really funny. I like your story. Mine's the exact opposite. I gave Link an unlimited, well, more or less unlimited. He's really good with not spending money, and so
Mhm.
I told him they can go get him and Paris can go get whatever, and so they haven't. But our we had bush lights, and the bushes kept growing because I wasn't trimming them, and so then we had three bushes lit up, and then we went down to two, and then we went down to one because we had to steal the lights from the other ones
That's
because they were the net
hilarious.
bushes because the one up by the road kept getting big and big and big because it's really cool when it snows. They look like snow cones. And so like light
Oh,
up snow
that's
cones
awesome.
because the bottom wouldn't get, the bottom of the branches are
Hmm.
brown, and so they wouldn't get snow in them. So I have always liked that effect. It's one of my more favorite effects. So this year he trimmed the bush. So he did get the bush trimmed, and he was like, "How do I do that?" I was like, "Just chop as much as you want. If it dies, we'll plant a new one next year." And bushes are really resilient. That's why I say
Yeah,
that because like
yeah.
you can
No,
chop it to whatever you want, and that thing is coming back. I mean,
yeah.
not all of them. Don't go do that to your prized fancy. If you're fancy, then don't. But if you're a little hillbilly like me, then
Yeah.
you can just chop it down and it'll be fine.
Yeah, it will.
It'll
You'll
look
be like,
good.
why didn't
So
I do this earlier?
so now we've probably gotten back to two bushes, maybe three, because you really needed to trim all three. But um, and then we had this light string that was out in the front of the house, and that would go around the garage lights. Well, we just left it up throughout the year, and every year there'd be less
Sure.
and less lights on it, and
That's funny.
and it was one of those moving ones. So then it looks really funny because it just kind of like it looks like it's time to signal for help or something. It's not
That's
exactly right.
awesome.
And so then we
That
can't. Last year was its last year. I don't even know if it got to run last year, but it ran. It made it outdoors, all the strand of lights for like 7 or 8 years. Ever since I lived here,
that's
we put it up the
hilarious.
first year and just never took it down. And so,
So they're down now?
yeah, we did cut it
Okay.
down eventually.
Because
I
I was
think
like,
last year it
that
just hung without it lit, but
that and the lawnmower.
they're both in the same spot. Yep, out in the front,
That's
like
awesome.
facing the road. So
Like, we need
sorry,
more
now I'm just
window
picturing it.
curtains.
No, it's like an actual style. They go
That's
around, you go
awesome.
around and look for the saddest Christmas decoration
But then
house.
inside it's all like, warm and Christmassy
Oh
and
yeah,
nice.
oh yeah. I do a really like. I put out like we got. Um,
Yeah.
my mom bought stuff for like Link had a Christmas birthday party one time, so I saved a bunch of those decorations. So
Oh, that's
I
awesome.
set up all kinds of like little mini Christmas trees, and there's lights all over the place. There's the like garland and stuff like that. And so
And
yeah,
the
because
Christmas music.
well, I don't leave
Yeah.
my house, and I got to the point where I'm not looking at it outdoors, so I'm gonna put my effort inside. And then I still like doing the display outside. It's not that I don't. It's just like it's like what you said. Things get away on time, and it's like, I'd rather look at this one because I even turn it on during the day. I like seeing it. It just stays on pretty much as soon as it's set up. It's on till it's off. And so sometimes I unplug it if it's too bright, but usually I don't. So yeah, that's me decorating. But
That's
we,
awesome. No, I like it.
now I just need to be combined with your boxes, and we could go crazy. So I need your decorations, and
Yeah.
then I'll be all set.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. The day after Christmas, Walmart and where did we
Yeah,
go?
yeah, but you
Walmart
got to go
had.
out to people. That's the thing. I don't want to
It
go.
really wasn't that
Oh,
bad.
really?
Um, like it's not as bad as you think it would be. We went like early in the morning, and the first year that we went, there was a line to get in waiting for the store to open, but there was only like 15 people. And then once you're in the store, even though you're all going to the Christmas section, there wasn't that many people, and they had a ton of stuff, and it's all like 50% off. Some of it's 75% off. So you can get just like a ton of stuff. You're like, what did we need? We need more ornaments.
Yeah, the
Mm,
things that I
like that.
like sell out really quick.
Yeah.
I'm kind of specific, and I see DB said I can have her old lights she doesn't want, so like they're probably just gonna be half working too. No, I'm just joking. Um, but
Put 'em around the lawnmower.
specifically, I like ones where I can change the options on them.
Yeah.
So where you can do like fade in, fade out. You can do like icicle type dripping effects. I mean, there's usually
Those
some
are
kind of cool
really cool.
effects.
Yeah.
And then and you can link them together, so then you can have just the solid or whatever. But then
Mhm.
inside I also have ones for my tree that flip between colored and white, and I don't think they do blue, all blue, but they're both colored and white, and they always sell those out. And then the net ones seem to sell out because they're trash anyway, so everybody's got to buy new ones every year.
Yeah.
But
Actually, we got our net ones um on the sale. Yeah, we went to a couple different places. We usually and obviously you can't, we went like I think we did it 3 years in a row. That's why we got so much stuff. I mean, we already had a bunch. We have Christmas villages too. We have a huge Christmas village. So, um, I don't know. I can't remember where else we went to, just anywhere that TJ Maxx, I think we went, and Marshalls, and just got everything. It was and we did it a few years in a row. So that's how we got the trees and stuff. Because the first couple years there really wasn't any, but the last year there was a ton of trees. Um, so
yeah, Patricia has quite an extensive Christmas village.
yeah,
collection
There.
on the Dickens Christmas Village
Oh,
collection.
nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got.
Forget how many houses she has. She's got like 30. I mean, like I'll
Wow.
say 1,000,000, but it's probably like
1 million. That's awesome.
maybe even
Yeah,
more. I don't know if she ever gets them all out. Like we tried one year, and it was quite a few, quite a
yeah.
few. But it's awesome.
One
It's a
thing
lot of
that I
work.
do like about the Christmas Village is how clean your house gets because you have to like move so much stuff. So
Hmm.
we would always just like dust it while we boxed it up, and then
50.
um 50, that's a lot.
I knew it was a
For
lot. Sorry.
Yeah.
I love that collection too. That's like one of my favorite collections because I like Christmas and so and
Hmm.
but
Yeah.
how do you set up? You said you got to clean areas, right? So you got to get counter space, right? Or table space or
Yeah,
shelf
and
space. So what do you
we
do?
don't have the space that we did. Well, we have a bigger house, a slightly bigger house than we did before. Like the living area is bigger, but we used to have like more shelves in our front room. So basically, every shelf, and then Rick made a like had a board, and we had the table saw, not the table saw. What are they called? The um,
Miter saw,
anyway.
hand saw.
No, not a saw. It's not a saw. I don't know why I said saw. Um, horse horseshoes? No, that's what are they called? Where you put things on so you can cut it? Like you put wood on it and they're like A-frame things. Anyway,
A jig,
no,
sawhorses,
maybe? Yeah.
the stands,
Yeah.
the little
Yeah,
like it's like
saw
a
horses.
table.
That
Yeah.
so there is a reason I said saw. Okay. I was like, why am I saying saw? Why there's no saws on it. So yeah, sawhorses and like a piece of wood, and we put a ton of the village on there. We had uh because of all my baking stuff, we had, a sidebar and a couple sidebars actually, and we put Christmas Village on there, and um we had shelves in the front room, Christmas Village there. And then like all of our decorations, we have like pictures and all kinds of stuff. So there's things on the walls and the lights went up and the Christmas tree, and yeah, we would just go crazy. And here we don't really have all that counter space, and we don't have room for um the sawhorses and the wood um set up like we did before. So it's like we haven't quite figured out what to do. And Ellis, our dog, is scared of everything, and so she's actually never seen our house decorated for Christmas since we've had her. So uh, Oliver could care less, but she will freak out, I think.
Yeah, I don't know if it would be
I
risky.
mean, that's not. Yeah, we'll still do it, because she'll get over it. But yeah, overwhelming, like I said.
All right, you want to take a quick break,
Yeah, let's take a quick break.
or do you want to talk about tinsel and then we'll talk?
Actually, I've had quite a bit of water, so a quick
Yep.
break would be delightful.
Let's see. Other scenes. Short break.
Okay, perfect.
All right, wonky lady.
For some reason, even though you responded to me, I was like, did I take myself off of mute? So that was me looking to see if I was on mute.
So, tinsel derived from the old French word intinciere. Intinciere. I can't roll things. Which means to sparkle. Tinsel was traditionally used in trimming trees to enhance the flickering candle. Sorry, candlelight. Man, they just were not very bright. That's what I was talking about, these water bottle things earlier. You know? They're going to be saying that about us. Man, those people they just weren't very smart.
Well, they did use candles a lot more than we do. So they
they're
were
maybe
probably
safer.
Like a little more, or just like it wasn't as big of a deal because they're like,
yeah, could be.
I've grown up with this next to my bedside for my whole life.
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, bad things happen, but it's fine. Whatever.
Everybody has that candle story in the family.
Yeah.
The light reflected off the tinsel makes sense. So, everything so far has been about enhancing that star. So next we have the ornaments themselves. Over time, the tradition of decorating a tree with candles was replaced with other things like paper roses, fruits, nuts. In the mid-1800s, German glassmaker Hans Gruner began manufacturing hand-blown glass Christmas baubles in the shape of fruits and nuts that typically decorated trees at that time, including round balls that looked like apples. Oh, I never knew that.
Oh,
That makes
that makes a lot of sense.
Do we have a sound effect?
Oh yeah, sorry. We totally do.
Oh, we get claps too. Eventually, the trend spread across Europe and then America, giving birth to modern tradition decorating techniques. Next, bells. I might have said jingle bells, but I was thinking of sleigh bells. I wasn't thinking of actual bells. And yeah, that's something that I would say I associated with my childhood, was the ringing of the Salvation Army's bell. And so, yeah. My dad did like handbells one time a few years ago or something.
Yeah?
Or he's in it. I don't know.
What?
For church.
He's in.
Yeah, he does like the Christmas show thingy-majig with the handbells where you gotta swing a bell. I don't know. Also, the ringing of the bell used to herd errant sheep back in. I can't read that. Herd errant sheep back into the fold. The Christmas bell signifies that Jesus is always watching over us and protecting us. The presence of bells can also be traced back to pagan winter celebrations where they were rung to drive away evil spirits.
Oh, I like that.
Wow, that was pretty evil. Candy canes. Where do candy canes? Why do we have candy canes around? Because they're shaped like a shepherd's staff. The minty confection represents the shepherds who searched for Jesus on the night that he was born. Another meaning behind the hook shape of the candy is that Jesus himself was called the Good Shepherd, and his disciples his flock of devoted followers, aka sheep. Conveniently, the cane formation makes them easy to hang on Christmas trees. I did not know that one either.
I didn't either. but they are delicious. I think that's one thing that I do really enjoy about decorating the tree is getting those little candy canes.
Mm-hmm. I have
And then
a little
you're like,
candy cane holder that has been in the family for, I don't know, a long time. I'm gonna say 30
what,
years, 40 years. It might even predate me. I'm not sure.
what's a little candy cane holder? That,
It's felt cut in the shape of a Christmas tree with a felt yellow star on top, so a green
yeah.
triangle with a star, yellow star on top, and then it has little felt pockets of different colors sewn on it. And then you can put those little candy canes in there and you hang it on your door. And when people come
What?
and go, then they can grab their candy cane.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and that's so cool. And you have it now?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. It was given to me at one point, and I use it. It almost stays up most of the year, actually.
You're like,
But I do take it down. I
it's
take it down and put it
July.
back
I'll
up.
take it down, and
Yep.
then like
Yep.
it's
I take it down and put it up.
Halloween time.
Well,
Good.
because there's so many pockets and nobody eats all the candy canes. And so,
Ah,
I mean, we eat a lot. Like, there's a lot of candy canes being ate. So, I'm with you. I love the candy cane. And I do refill it, like when a couple pockets get taken. So, it's not like it's a one time fill. You know, you got to buy like a big
yeah.
box and it's a big, whole big thing. But, yep.
They're like, we're not taking this down until all the candy canes are done.
And it's really interesting. Such a simple craft has proved so useful over such a long period of time. Yet, we go through so much other stuff that's, when I look at the stuff that I use and that I don't really need, and then
Hmm.
the stuff that I really use, it's things like that. It's kind of interesting. So, next up, we got a wreath. A circle with no beginning, no end. A wreath symbolizes the strength of Jesus. Man, somebody definitely from Christianity wrote this article. Like, I mean, and it could be very true
Well,
that
it
all
is
this,
Christmas though.
yeah, it is Christmas. I'll give them that. But it's just like like, man, just like, is nothing not that? But we'll see.
Everything symbolizes something.
Yep. So,
Oh, your Christmas tree is probably DB says it's probably more than 70 years.
oh wow,
So
wow.
that's awesome.
hmm And it's in like perfect condition. Like, really,
Hmm.
there's nothing wrong with it at all. And then that being said, then something happens.
Hopefully
Um,
not.
A circle with no beginning, no end. A wreath symbolizes the strength of Jesus Christ's love for all. The popular Christmas time door decoration. We don't do wreaths. Also reminds us the circle of life, love, and rebirth. I like that meaning.
Yep, me too. That's nice.
And then the wreath
Especially for
represents the
the.
crown of thorns that he wore.
Oh yeah, that makes
I
sense.
did remember that. I think I remember that. But it's good to be reminded. Uh-oh. Why? Why? Well, next up was gingerbread men, not a bell. So if the picture comes up, we'll see. These tasty treats are a staple on every cookie platter this time of year, as well as the popular cookie exchange recipe. The religious meaning to the gingerbread man for many Christians, the biscuit represents God's creation of Adam, the first man, and therefore the rest of us. I don't like gingerbread.
No?
Mm-mm.
Oh, I love it. I make these really good soft ginger cookies.
Mhm.
But gingerbread cookies are tough. Tough to get right. I feel like because we really have to dry them out.
It's funny. All
And
right.
I'm no good at decorating.
Oh, it wasn't a bell. The colors red and green. Where do they come from?
Oh,
The crimson shade associated with Christmas symbolizes the blood that was shed by Christ during his crucifixion. The color green, the hue of the evergreen plants like pine trees, holly, mistletoe, retain their leaves throughout the winter, represents Jesus Christ's everlasting life. Did not know
hmm.
there was meaning in the colors. It makes
It
sense.
makes sense though. Yeah, it does make sense.
I
Oh
just
yeah,
thought it was
good job.
because they had trees, and I know that back in the olden days, that colors were really hard to come by in things, and
Hmm.
so I just assumed that red was one of the easier colors since it was in a lot of berries and just I always picture. I know blues and purples were the harder ones, But berries, I just assumed were easy, so I just thought red was easy.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't know either. And I never really thought about it.
Mistletoe. Well, I was when you said never really thought about it. It's interesting because we don't think about so much, and it's like I never
Yeah.
thought. I didn't either. I didn't know the colors had like meaning, and if you think about it, I'm sure that a lot of everything, little things have some sort of meaning somewhere.
Yep. Yep.
Um, because mistletoe, it is believed that people back in the first century AD viewed mistletoe as a symbol of vivacity and fertility because it blossoms during the cold winter. It's no wonder that it's become known as a romantic part of Christmas, flirtingly taking on a life of its own when it comes to holiday traditions.
That's
I haven't
funny.
seen anybody with mistletoe in years.
No, my mom used to get it every year and hang it up, which was hilarious because she's not really a traditions kind of person, but she'd always get mistletoe. We'd get our tree and she'd get some mistletoe.
Gifts adorned with a bow, bestowing presents upon our loved ones at Christmas time honors the three magi who visited baby Jesus in Bethlehem, bringing him
Mhm.
gifts of gold, frankincense, and mirth. The gift bow that sits on top a lavishly wrapped present symbolizes unity, mankind, and how we all should be tied together in goodwill. Wow, did not know all that.
No, me neither.
Angels. There's a good
Yep.
reason why angels, like stars, are traditional Christmas tree toppers, and that's because these messengers of God played a prominent role in the nativity of Jesus. Archangel Gabriel appeared to the Virgin Mary, delivering the message from God that she would bear his son. Another angel visited Joseph in a dream to inform him that he should place his trust in Mary. Sorry. It's just like that the way that all unfolded. She's like, "Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
pregnant, Joseph." And he's like, "What?" And she's like, "Just trust the
Excuse me?
angel. Trust your vision." It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Later in the Christmas story, the three angels appeared in the sky over Bethlehem to announce the child's birth. Forgot that part of the story. Stockings. The legend behind why we hang stockings in the fireplace. Another fire hazard is to be filled with goodies, to be
Hmm.
believed to be the origin story of Santa Claus back in 4th century, somewhere around what is modern day Turkey. There was a poor widower who couldn't afford a dowry for his three daughters and thought of selling them into servitude. A local bishop, St. Nicholas, was known for his charity, but the father refused to accept any gifts from the monk. As the legend goes, one night Nicholas secretly tossed bags of gold into the man's house, and the pouches landed in the stockings that were hanging over the fireplace to dry. Never heard that version of stockings.
No, I haven't either.
Oh, there's our elf. Where's
There
he?
he is.
How'd he sneak in already?
That's what he does.
I
Did I give
wasn't
it the
done
wrong
yet.
number?
I don't know. I
It's
didn't
a
come
zero
across him in
zero
this.
two dash one. No, it's those are the pictures that I got for our next article.
Yeah, it's funny. We missed a few pictures, or they're just in a different order. So we have poinsettia or poinsettia. I've heard it both ways. I like this plant. I kept one alive for a long time. While the shape of the petals resemble a star, the colors of the Christmas plant are symbolic as well. The bold red reminds us of the blood Jesus Christ shed on the cross and his sacrifice for humankind, while poinsettia is a symbol of purity, good cheer, and happiness, and it can be kept alive all year long, which I did, but I think it loses some of its red. I forget.
Yeah.
I think it was just a green plant after a while.
Oh.
But I kept it forever. I mean, like multiple years, and then it died.
Hmm.
next we have holly, the shiny dark green leaves, the bright red berries. Holly is another evergreen shrub that is synonymous with Christmas. The pointed leaves represent the crowned thorns placed upon Jesus' head at his crucifixion, while the berries remind us of the blood he shed. A dove, our final one. What does the dove? I forgot about the dove.
Yeah.
In many religion, the dove symbolizes. Darcy, you don't gotta
Peace and
read.
love.
Yep, peace and love. And then
That was a guess. I don't have it up.
good.
I'm down to one.
Peace and love. That's what I wanted you to do. Peace and love. You're exactly right. And then they add in freedom and purity. And in Christianity, the dove is also a symbol of the Holy Spirit and represents God's forgiveness.
They're also pigeons. Fun fact.
Pigeons are cool. I like pigeons. Oh, I'm a pigeon fan. Now they're dirty birds, and they're not really. They're not. Oh man, I watched the history of the pigeons. Pigeons used to be revered, and like were a symbol of status if you had pigeons, and they were like the best. And then there was some kind of false campaign that somebody, like some president, like had it out for pigeons, and then said that they were dirty and stuff, and somebody wrote about it, and then it just like kind of caught on, and they're really not. And it's kind of interesting. Like their diseases are so minimal, and their immune. It was. I watched this whole little history of pigeons. They get such a bad rap. It was. I felt so
really
bad
cool.
for them. Yeah, I was
My,
like, oh, they changed my mind.
Nice. That's very cool. Yeah, I'm starting to like them a little bit more. It's different when you live somewhere that has a lot of pigeons, I think. But you can say that about anything. You're like, ooh, there's a lot of like spiders or pigeons.
And too many programmers in that room.
Yeah, ooh,
Ugh.
let's get out of here. Gross. But yeah, Rick's uncle races pigeons, actually. So we found out a little bit more about that this weekend. But he's been doing it for a long time. He was the third in the country. Third
Pigeon.
fastest. Yeah.
That's awesome. And
Well,
one
he's
that
got
just
a lot
doesn't
of
get lost.
Huh?
And the one that was smartest didn't get lost, found where it needed
Yeah.
to go.
No, yeah.
Quickest.
The whole thing's very interesting. Like you have
is.
to drive them and then they fly home and you just have to keep doing that so they know how to get home. It's
Yeah.
just I find it's and then one thing that we found out because I was curious, I'm like, obviously how do they get home? But people live in different areas, right? So they figure, some birds are going to obviously get home faster because they're closer. So they do like an average speed. But because we're in Florida and they're in Florida, it's hotter down here. So, and it's a little bit further. So although the birds will be really fast in the beginning, as the time goes on, they're getting tired. It's getting hotter. They're slowing down. So it affects their average speed. So you have to take that into consideration, like where you're racing from, because they would come in second often because they had a lot farther to go and the heat and stuff. I don't know. I just found it's very interesting.
It's fascinating too because you could also have your bird get clipped by a predator bird. So then would be like flying
Well,
in
you have a
certain
lot.
areas.
You don't just have
Yeah,
one
yeah.
bird.
It's the herd, like the group that
Yeah.
would, I don't know, flock, right? The flock that would make
Yeah.
it probably. But I'm thinking, would some areas be more dangerous? Would they be like sharks? Where sharks, like, they're not dumb. They go where seals go. And so, like,
I've never. I'll ask. I'll find because
just because there's a bunch of birds flying, does that make it easier? Is it like schools of fish? Do they, circle around? Do they stay grouped so that it protects them more? I'd be curious on that aspect too. And then are certain areas of the country more dangerous? Because like if you got more woods and stuff and where eagles live and things like that, or I don't know. It'd be really interesting. And then does that racing in those certain areas, does that promote the larger predator birds populations? Because now they got easy food. Yeah, I find it fascinating. The whole birds, I like birds a lot. They're so dirty. Everybody except for geese. I really hate geese. I do not like them at all. But all other birds are pretty cool. I just don't like, I don't blame them, but pooping if they're too much in one area. That seems a bit much.
Yeah.
Like they can go in the woods and use the potty. I don't know. They don't have to do it on your
Or like,
house or your
your
car.
yard is my potty.
Yeah. All right. Where did Elf on the Shelf start?
I don't know.
Or what is it?
It's an elf that people put on a shelf. I didn't grow up with Elf on the Shelf was after me, I think. And then I don't have kids, so never. I mean, obviously I've heard about it for a few years. I was curious.
So, what is Elf on the Shelf? In its simplest form, it's Elf on the Shelf, Christmas tradition is a book that comes with an adorable, and somewhat creepy, depending on your point of view, Scout Elf figurine. The story, written by author Carol Ebersold, follows an elf whose job is to keep an eye on children for Santa. In the days leading up to Christmas, the elf reports back to Santa every night about which children is being naughty or nice. And while the story provides parents with a simple way to encourage their children to behave throughout the month of December, it's also a fun activity for the whole family to participate in during the holidays. Elf on the Shelf also has pretty interesting origin story. Yeah, I agree. It's creepy.
That is creepy.
But it's cool. I like the creepiness, coolness of it. I would probably ramp it up a little bit and make it a little creepier, but because then it would be fun. My cousin told me a story about how her and her office mates play with this creepy doll. She was given a doll by her neighbor, which is already its own creepy story. But
Yes.
to summarize it, it's like one of we'll call it a Chucky doll, but it's not. It's a doll that just looks kind of creepy. It's a clown doll. I think it's even a clown, like one of I don't know.
Oh.
I'd have to get a picture. It's scary. And so they like hide it behind the blinds and have it like looking through the blinds or around corners or bushes and then one time they had it hanging in the office, like somebody offed it, and so yeah, it's a very interesting game that they play with their little doll. And so that's
Yeah.
what Elf
No,
on the
thank
Shelf.
you.
So, when did this Elf on the Shelf start? In 2005. Carol Ebersold, stay-at-home mom, and her daughter, Clanda Bell, published a book. And based on their family's own Scandinavian holiday tradition that started in the 1970s. We had an elf growing up for as long as they could remember. The elf was named Fizby. And Fizby would, of course, report to Santa Claus at night and be back in a different position in our house the next day. We loved it. It was a chance for us to tell Santa directly what maybe we want for Christmas or do good deeds so that Santa knows about them. Yeah. You just bring the elf, hey, watch this. I'm doing dishes.
That is really sweet, though,
Yep.
that their family came up with it.
And
That's really
then
cute.
Fizby was like a Christmas ornament for the family at the time. The elf evolved to become more magical over the next generations of kids today. This Christmas tradition wasn't an overnight hit. When they first released their book, every single editor and publisher turned them down. So the women published it themselves instead of having a big publisher's resources to market the book. The women sold it one by one. It was a bit of guerrilla marketing at first. The family produced 5,000 copies using credit cards in retirement. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Oh, that is an amazing story.
yeah,
Wow. I like those stories of inventors and business owners that like
Yeah.
start with like they're like, yeah, we're going all in on this.
yeah.
Yeah.
Credit card retirement funds.
Yep. And
That's
sold them straight out of their cars
very.
and straight fares. Yep, they just basically sold it.
And now
Yeah.
look at them. That's
By
awesome.
2007, so it took them a few years. Jennifer Gardner, she helped it. She was photographed by the paparazzi holding the book, which then made it an instant success. And then a mere 5 years later, it had its own float in the Macy Days Parade. And
Wow.
ever since
sick.
then, it's spawned their IP. Has elf pets, a lot of elf pets. A movie, Elf Story, The Elf on the Shelf, an official Elf on the Shelf clothesline and costumes, storybooks, and other elves. Yeah, that was a good empire. They did good. That was a good.
It did.
And it's
That's
creepy
so
as hell.
sweet. Yeah.
It's, yeah, it's just weird having that thing. It's bad enough having Santa watch over you. Now you got this creepy elf in your house all the time. Yeah.
There's a girl one too.
So basically, it just travels around. I mean, there's not really much elf. What are the rules? Oh, they got rules. First and foremost, kids are not allowed to touch the elf. I did not know that. Oh, it's not a toy after all. And if a children touches the elf, it ruins Christmas. Wow.
That's,
Wow, I didn't
that's
know they had that rule. That's
hilarious.
awesome. Yeah, that's a good rule.
Yeah, that's good. That is good.
And then every night the elf will go back to home base, the North Pole, to tell Santa if the children are good or bad. Basically, parents, you're the elves, and then you just move it. So whether you hate the elf on the shelf, this fictional character changed Christmas forever. If you ever had it in your home, you can't deny that it sparks joy in your little ones. Yes. That's awesome. I like it. I still just think it's creepy, but I like
It's
it.
super creepy. It is really cute though. I like it now. I was unsure, but I like it. I've been sold. I want the book I want the girl elf.
You want the what?
There's one that's a girl elf. It says Walmart. It's $2 cheaper than the original one.
But what was funny is I thought you said you want the gorilla one.
Yeah. I want the one that they sold out of their car.
Yeah, like the handmade. Oh man, I bet those are valuable. Some of those early ones. They probably still had them manufactured. You can get limited runs. All right, that is all we have. We're at time. So,
That was so much fun.
oops, there's my article. We'll come back to the page.
Yep, there was the girl and the boy one.
Hmm. All right. Well, maybe somebody will
Write a story.
write a story and come up with a cool idea. And
We have a cool idea. Just,
finish the story then.
yeah, we can do it. We can do it.
All right. Well, next week, tune at the same pretending time, the same pretending place,
Mm-hmm. Yep,
and we will have
we'll
some
be here.
more Christmas stories.
Yeah. Probably not the same time because we never start at the same
Nah,
the same general time.
same
Same
general time. Like we ask a lot out of our viewers. Tune in at 8, and you might get a show by 8:45.
Yeah. We did good today though. We started like quarter after.
Quarter after, and then we had 10 minutes of technical difficulty.
No, it
So-
wasn't that many.
I know,
That was
but
good.
it feels
We
like
did.
that. It feels like that on the air. So, all right. Well, have a good weekend, Patricia, DB. We
Yep,
will.
enjoy
Everybody
your
else.
weekend. Yep. Stay
Bye.
warm out there. Bye.